We're talking actors and directors who put on the shows.
We're talking playwrights and designers who you'll want to know.
From the very first rehearsal to the final curtain call.
We might be off Broadway, but we're talking about it all.
'Cause we're two local gals
With global pals, it's everything, everything, everything theater.
with Benita
And Ellen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Everything Theater Podcast, the podcast where we talk about...
Everything Theater. Hi there, everybody. I'm Benita Zahn.
And I'm Ellen Cribbs. I'm going to let you know that this episode is sponsored by the Sand Lake Center for the Arts. If you didn't catch our last episode, we talked to the amazing Tanya Gorlow, who's the new executive director there. So all their information is on their website. Please check them out. They've been doing such great work.
Exactly. And so much going on there. So much going on right here for this program. I'm sorry, I got a little froggy going on. I don't know if I was around cats today or there's something I got, but whatever, I feel good. So we'll just move on. I don't have to be singing today. We have really, you guys, listen, I hope you love every podcast we do, but we've got the fleet of foot and clearly also of the ability to write. Diane Lathrop Martinez and her husband Johnny Martinez. Many folks in the Capital Region know Johnny from his performing and dancing. You may not know that his wife also dances and has penned a unique play that's not only about salsa and tango in particular, but involves the audience as well. And Diane, you were telling me this is 5 years in the making.
Yeah, and that was conservative. That was a conservative to make me look good. But now that the children are one's married and one's in college, it's been able to move along quicker. But yes, it's been a while. I've been working on it for a long time. It's been through several rewrites. I joined Theater Maker Studio in New York, and that really helped bring things along.
So what was the impetus? I mean, I know you both dance. Was that the impetus? And it's a story of dance, love, and loss, and maybe redemption too.
So tango I've always loved, we're tango dancers. We tango together. We actually, when we first moved up here from New York City, we had 5 years of tango fusion dance company. We did 5 years of shows. We hired local dancers, trained them to do tango. And we really honed like our idea of like how to put script with tango. So it's not just dancing tied together with a few words. It's really a script, and it's about addiction to tango and how that's a thing. A woman has written a book about the addiction to tango. I don't know if you know the congressman in South Carolina who left South Carolina and his job and moved to Argentina with his dance instructor. Yeah. So
That's a good thing.
Not advocating that.
yes.
But tango does have a particular lure and allure, and a lot of people get swept up in it, and most of the time in very positive ways. But then with this particular book that Diane's describing, and in the themes of her play, there is the downside to being addicted to tango, like being addicted to anything. And I don't think many people know that you can become addicted to a dance. Although tango itself is not just a dance, it's the music, it's a lifestyle, it's a whole environment that circles around Argentine tango. I think that's a lot of what the play captures too.
So fill us in.
I'm sorry.
Look, it's
Fill us
sexy.
in.
Oh, fill us in.
I
Okay.
mean, look,
So
tango is sexy. There was a
no
show
doubt.
on Broadway maybe 10 years ago, about tango.
Right. So there's been some shows, Tango Argentino, Tango Pasión, Forever Tango, but they were all someone sings, someone dances, someone plays a song. Someone sings, someone dances, right? There's never really a script on the inside scoop. So that's what we're talking about in our show. Not only are people addicted to tango, but also the people don't realize that there's a huge improvisation quality to tango. Like if we put music on, John, you could give us any music, Johnny and I could get up, he would lead, I would follow. It's a conversation. It's not always a routine. So we're bringing that to light in this show as well. The improvisation is something that a lot of tango dancers don't like to share with the public. Everyone thinks it's choreography, but we're bringing that out as well. But Elena, the choreographer, the main, the protagonist, she's dancing with the wrong guy. She loves dancing with him. He's amazing. Good thing that didn't happen here. Okay. So he's an amazing dancer, but he's got issues. But she can't let go of him because he's such a great dancer. And that's the thing. We saw that over and over again in New York City, people dancing with the wrong person, couldn't get away from it.
Or just wrong for them.
So she has to overcome these decisions artistically, emotionally, physically. What is she going to do? There's magic in the show also. We had a wonderful friend in New York City who's performed at the Obama White House a couple times, all over the place, and Las Vegas. And he would come to our studio and do magic. So there's a little magic in the show as well. There's original music written. We see this one song called Corazon Libre, Free Heart, where the choreographer Elena, she needs to free her heart of what she's going through. And we actually see the musicians on stage playing their guitar, tinkering with the notes, of course they know it in advance, but they are creating the song on stage. So, it remains to be seen whether she overcomes her obstacles, but they have to keep their show. It's a show within a show. They have to keep their show Fuego going if she overcomes these obstacles.
How much of the show is scripted and how much of it is improv? As you point out that if he gave you music, you and Johnny would be whoop and blows it away. Great question.
The vast majority is scripted. In fact, we address that. There's a number which we've done this in Argentina. We did this number in Argentina called Design a Dance. And this is where the improvisation comes out.
As well as the audience interaction.
Right.
And so there's a unique little element that exists that I've never seen anywhere else. And Diane really created this. And we've done it many times, like she said. And the scariest time was doing it in Argentina when we were there for Argentines. So when we describe it, you'll see, but we had no idea how it would go over in their native land. So
most of the routines are choreographed, but then we come to them and we reach out to them and said, we need you to choreograph the audience to help us with this routine. And that's when Benjamin, the magician, addresses them and says, okay, pick the music. And the musicians, give a little snippet and they vote. Audience picks a song. Of course, then they have to go pick a costume. I mean, not that this really matters, but then they pick a costume, the red dress, the silver dress, the purple dress. They choose that. Then they have to pick the final pose. Is it a corte? Is it a lift? Is it a drop? So then the volunteers, the two professional tango dancers come out and they're told, here's your song. Here's your final pose.
Here's what you'll be wearing.
And here's what you'll be wearing. Go to it, make it up.
And so they would create that every night on stage, depending on what the audience wanted to do. It seems a little crazy, but it does work, and we have done it. And when we did it in Argentina, like I was saying, Diane would ask the audience in English, and I would ask them in Spanish, and we'd go back and forth and have this whole thing. And what was scary is that we were in a big theater, and it was dark, and all I saw was lights, and I'm thinking, oh man, this is going to tank. These people are going to hate us. Who are we to bring tango to them and do all this stuff? But man, when we started playing the different tunes and showing them the different aspects, they erupted, and they really, really had some specific favorite things that they wanted to see. And then we'll bring out the couple as, okay, this is what they chose for you. And then we back up and let them do it, and they have to dance it and hit that final pose. And sometimes we even say, pick the lighting, things like that. So they could have a mood lighting or something bright or bold, things of that nature.
Fun things.
Yeah, fun things. So the audience has a little bit more invested in this routine. And then we kind of all wait. Are they going to hit it at the end? Are they going to hit that pose or that lift or whatever it is the audience wanted to see?
And of course, oh, go ahead, sorry.
And they do.
And they do.
And they do. And this number is the one. So when Elena is trying to keep her show Fuego alive and overcome her obstacles, the producer comes in and goes, I need to see something more exciting, more unique. And this number, needless to say, saves the day. So from the heart, improvisation, dancing how you really feel, being authentic, that's what saves the day. So anyway, that's not everything, but that's the thrust of the show. So we're
Is it
at,
one act? Is
pardon
it a
me?
one act, 2 act?
No, it's a 2 hour show. No, it's a full evening,
yeah.
2 act show.
And you take place over the 3 days of the show within the show. So when it opens, we're seeing them on Thursday night during their show. We'll see a couple of numbers and the audience reaction, and then we'll see some rehearsing and the backstage life of what went right, what went wrong. You know, you missed this, I did this. Oh, that was really great. That didn't work. And then, you know, the next day we come back, they've rehearsed and changed a new number. And then we'll see a next little bit of that show. And then in the finale, or the final act, you know, that show comes together for the producer, and with a few other little spoilers that we won't reveal, but that's where the story takes us. So the audience would see the full show within a show over the course of the 2 acts, taking place over 3-ish days, you know, like
Yeah.
a long weekend.
How many in the cast?
So there's 15, including the musicians, because there's 4 musicians who play, you know, we may have to supplement with some other, you know, a pianist on the side, but the 4 musicians have lines. They add texture to the show. They have some comedy lines because they all speak a different language. So every time you tell them, can we rehearse? Then they have to go down the line.
And translate.
And they translate from Spanish to Italian to French down the line. I want to share another thrill with you though.
Oh.
The immersive part of the show. My goal is I'm hoping to get it produced in New York. I have an advisor who's a producer who is helping me find a lead producer. We're hoping to be in a club or an off-Broadway show, but it will be immersive. As soon as you walk in the lobby, there's going to be tango, there's going to be people posing, there's going to be music. There's what I call the Hall of Confessions, where you go and you hear, I've already recorded people talking about their obsession with tango. So you hear them like talking about their issues with tango. And then you check your watch or your phone. Have you scheduled a tango lesson? Yes, you have. So then you go into the theater, the musicians are already playing, and this is optional because some people don't want to get up, right? So you may take a tango lesson with one of the characters from the show before the show, intermission, or after. And you may order a glass of Melbeck. So it's really, I don't know whether it's going to be in seats or tables, but you know, I'm really looking for an immersive situation, interactive and immersive.
Wow.
Wow.
This almost sounds like something they would do at the McKittrick Hotel.
Yes, that's what I want. You know them?
No, but I think I have a friend who just wrapped up performing there. I didn't realize he was, but I think he just wrapped up there.
I feel like I could so write for them.
Yeah,
I have
that's what it sounds like. They just wrapped up Sleep No More.
Yeah, I think I heard they're building something downtown in the financial district for their next thing. Have you heard
Oh.
that?
No,
No, that's what I heard.
but you gotta talk to him.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Now, is there any chance you might do that up in the capital region?
I have thought about approaching Capital Rep because I've been given some money. People want to invest in the show. You know, they feel it has legs and it will go somewhere. I've been told it could go on tour. They feel like that's the quality of the show. So I have thought about doing that. But the problem is not everyone tangos. Do you know what I mean? The only tango dancers besides us, there was another couple, but they moved to Europe. So it would mean bringing tango dancers up and housing them for sure. I've thought about that. I'm not sure. Yeah. So
Are you two in the show?
I don't think so. I mean, we're a little
You just
mature.
got dissed, Johnny.
If he could learn how to play the guitar, he
Right.
could be Pancho, because the lead musician, Pancho. So there's three main young in their 30s couples, right? Benjamin Arlette, they're the magician and his new enthusiastic wife. Then there's Elena, protagonist dancing with Claudio, who she shouldn't be dancing with. Then there's Osvaldo and Rosa. So those are the three main dance couples. And then there's the main singer, Carla, matriarch, beautiful singing voice, married to Pancho, the lead musician. Then there's four ensemble and three musicians. Okay, what was your point? Oh, I don't know.
If we would be in it.
Yes. So I don't think so. I think certainly could have been a good role at some point, but maybe maybe I'm sitting next to Pancho here. I don't know.
I gotta start learning how to play the guitar.
But if we're working on a showcase also to attract investors, I think we would probably, Johnny or myself, would talk the play through as you do your 30-minute showcase. So
Where are you looking to do that?
in New York.
Now, but this has already been done and well received in Argentina.
Well, these sections of it, but not the whole piece as it is.
Oh, not the whole piece at all. No, no, no.
Mhm.
So can you walk us through a little bit more of trying to reach an end goal of, say, like New York City, kind of the steps you're taking and the steps that you've heard you need to take to go on that journey? Like, where do you have to do the tryout? What investors do you need? Like, what's A, B, and C in that series?
Yeah, I'm sort of at that point right now because I have, I failed to mention a Grammy award-winning composer, Latin Grammy award-winning composer. So I've got that. The script's been rewritten. I've got the product. Pardon me. I feel very confident with the product. I am the man who's my advisor, Dean Roth. He and I are trying to find a lead producer now. So that's really our next step, to try to find a lead producer who will kind of take the reins and take it to the next level. But that's not always easy to find. So what I'm doing for the showcase is I'm hoping to have a workshop where we, for 10 days, work on the 30-minute presentation. I will then hire a publicist in New York. We'll get a space. We'll have an evening, glass of wine, and we'll, through Dean and through other people, invite people to come see the showcase. And that's where you hope you attract more producers, investors. But I will not use the full cast. For the 30 minutes to 45 minutes, we would maybe have one real dancing couple, hire some actors, have a beautiful songstress sing Corazon Libre. But yeah, it's that next step. We used to live in New York. We danced in New York, had a big studio, but not being there. I mean, we're there all the time because Johnny's mom lives there, but yeah.
It's different not being there.
Yeah, so I need to go down to New York. I've been down a number of times for things, but I need to go down and look at spaces. I think that's kind of the next thing. And then we need to arrange the workshop and then followed by the showcase. That's kind of the plan.
How exciting.
Yes.
Nerve-wracking.
So, Johnny, I'll be like, can you give me 30 minutes? Because Johnny also directs. So I'll write a new section or rewrite, and I'll say, can you take a look at this? Is this possible? And so he's my editor. He'll be one of the choreographers, good ideas.
How many rewrites has it been through at this point?
Say 5 significant ones. I took through Theater Maker Studio in New York. I don't know if you're familiar with that company. Ken Davenport, the producer, runs it. And I took courses. I took a writing course through them after I'd already written it. Then I hired a dramaturg, and she was great. She was great. Cheryl Coons, I hired her, and she gave me really thoughtful notes. So that was when we really took it to the next level, added the addiction in and more immersive. She really helped us with that.
And what was the impetus for this? You toured dancers, you had the studio, raised family, performed. At what point, what said to you, I've got this story I've got to write?
Well, I don't think I knew it at first. When we first moved up here, we moved up here in 2005, and within a year we auditioned people and had a dance company. And I kept like sort of writing scripts and adding things in. And I don't think I knew I had a bigger story. I think after we did that for 5 years and then moved on, I think witnessing all the drama in New York and just this isn't really my life. I mean, my life isn't I'm dancing. You're hoping it's my life.
There are aspects of it. There are aspects of it.
Yes. There's been some, I mean,
It was a friend.
wasn't there, but when Tango Argentino first came to New York and the professionals in New York would be taking tango lessons in people's hotel rooms. They would be smoking cigars and drinking whiskey as they're giving people lessons. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it took New York by storm when Tango Argentino first came to New York. So I witnessed and was embroiled in myself in a number of dramatic situations. So I think that's the impetus, you know.
I was there in New York, but I wasn't doing
We didn't know
tango at
each
the
other.
time, and I wasn't doing any ballroom at the time. My career and everything before had always been in musical theater and touring companies. It wasn't until later that that Diane and I met where I started pivoting a little bit towards, and then for a significant amount of time toward ballroom and tango and swing before I came back and sort of mixed it all together with theater.
Yeah, I had
So-
already been tango dancing probably for 10 years. Yeah, before I met him.
Right. So that's the story. When we first started rehearsing together, the joke was that I said, "So what are we gonna do?" Because this was her studio. I said, "What are we gonna do?" She goes, My two favorite dances are West Coast swing and Argentine tango." And I've been dancing a long time, and I said, "Great, two dances I never even heard of before, let alone did." You know, I grew up doing Latin dances and hustle back in the day and those kind of things, plus then ballet and all that. So this was a new world for me. But to your point about where this comes from, even when Diana had the studio, we had a studio in Manhattan, Stepping Out, that she created a long time ago. She was always putting on performances with the students and other pros, and there was always things that were beyond just a regular dance studio. So I think it was always there. There was always something in there that she needed to express this way. And over the years, it became more and more and more and more until now it's culminated into this full show. But I think the elements had always been there in terms of what I was witnessing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This addiction to tango you're talking about, is it something that's seen in other ballroom dances, or does it seem to be specific to tango?
I would say salsa and swing as well. I would say those are the dances that seem to be. No one comes into my studio goes, Foxtrot. I'm obsessed with Foxtrot. No one does that. People come in, swing. I must Latin, I must tango. That's kind of how people feel about it.
I have a
Swing-
friend who's doing bachata now.
Bachata is very hot now,
Yeah.
and people. The thing is about tango that's a little bit different than those dances like salsa. People can be obsessed with them, and I find, but in terms of using the word addiction, that I think really lends itself more to tango because Argentine tango, for some reason, just changes people's lives. People become addicted to things, but not the same way. And so you could be upset of people that are obsessed with swing, and that's all they do is swing. But somehow they can separate themselves. When you get involved with tango in a certain way and it goes past a certain point, it becomes an addiction. Then it really changes. It changes the game.
People move to Argentina. I've seen American students just pick up and move to Argentina.
Or we've seen people that say, we'll go down there for a month to learn tango and wind up staying for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, our friend Sarah, who used to work at our studio, she had the all-night milonga. So a milonga is a type of tango dance. It's a little folksier, but it's also a dance party.
You can go to a milonga to dance.
So it starts at 9 o'clock at night. We would sometimes teach at it. And then it goes till 5 in the morning. And people come in with their high shoes on, and people go out tango dancing every night. We had a student who danced all the time and unfortunately got sick. She got, autoimmune because she was out dancing every night. She was exhausted. Okay, so I would
Everything
say
theater, everything tango, everything.
I didn't have really that issue. I wouldn't say that I'm addicted like that because I love West Coast. I love salsa. I love musical theater. I love all different types. But I am addicted to telling a story about tango. That's where I would say my addiction comes in. I mean, I have another story in me. I want to write a Mary Queen of Scots, Elizabeth I play. No tango. But after that, there's another tango show, I think. So I have been obsessed with writing about somehow putting script and storyline in with tango dance. The dance tells the story itself. It just does.
I'm a little curious too because tango is such an intimate dance. And in the theater now, big thing is intimacy coordinators, people who are trained to come in and go through intimate moments in plays. Does that role exist in the dance world, or is the choreography kind of take that place of like, this is what you're doing and you're not going to stray from it?
I have not yet seen an intimacy coordinator in any tango related event or venue. I'm not sure they would even get that.
If we stood up, could you see us and we could show you what the hold is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, give it a
Okay.
whirl.
Can you still see us?
We got you.
From there,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We're not really dressed to dance, but if you were going to just do a tango hold, this is what it is.
And we do a lot of movement with this sort of connection and closeness.
They're good.
I say, if you're listening to the audio, you need to hop onto YouTube and watch.
But it's
watch this.
just, I mean, it's so intense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as your play talks about the importance of having the right partner who you can trust and who vibes with you, really, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah.
But I've also performed with people who I never met before.
Hmm.
I just met. There was a guy who came off the plane and his partner's I don't know, Mr. Plane from Argentina. And he was supposed to do workshops at a nearby studio and they asked me to perform with him. So I had to perform with him because we spoke the same language. Tango is a language, salsa is a language, West Coast swing is a language. So it is great to have the right chemistry and the right partner, but you can dance with other people.
What's the difference between West Coast swing and East Coast swing?
Want to see it?
Well, by explanation, East Coast.
Johnny put his hand on me. Did you see that?
She tends to gesture a lot. So East Coast swing is also known as jitterbug or Lindy, and that's more associated with the big band sounds of the 40s and 50s and rock around the clock and those that's the East Coast. Has a rock step, a little jumpy. West Coast is its more bluesy, sultry cousin, which doesn't have that same hopping kind of feeling. And now West Coast swing is danced to a lot more contemporary music, where East Coast swing. Okay, so when swing became popular again in the '90s with the Stray Cats and the Cherry Pie and that, right? That's all East Coast, very kind of big orchestrations. And then West Coast again is a much more grounded, a little bit more sultry, sexy, and it's very improvisational also.
It's more jitterbug and East Coast is more circular, and then West Coast goes back and forth in a slop.
Basically, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
A lot, Ellen.
Yeah.
You learn a lot, Ellen. More than you bargained for.
And I will have a swing show too. I have a swing show I want to write too, but got to get this. I had to hold myself back. I got to focus on finishing this show. I mean, it's finished, but getting it produced. So.
That's great. Where do we sign up?
Pardon me?
I said, it sounds great. Where do we sign up?
Okay, well, if you have any leads to lead producers or anything like that, we'll be happy to.
Well, listen, world, she's putting it out there.
Yeah, and also got to fix that button for the producer portal, but the website people can certainly visit. Tango Illusion website.
Yeah, we'll
And-
make sure that that's up on all of our socials, so listeners go look, and we'll post that link.
And while the show is in the process of, you getting there, do you have anything going right now, Diane, Johnny, that we're going to see you performing in?
Well, I just finished a big November, December. I also danced with Knocker Dance Company, and so I had a Nutcracker. We did a performance of oratorio. I worked with Yankee Trails playing Scrooge in the Santa's Magical Express. Right now, I am working with the Lake Avenue Drama Club as the director choreographer for 60 fourth and fifth graders. Yeah, nothing coming up with that right now. But I've done a lot of stuff with iTheater. She's reminding me, and
he's their Hercule Poirot.
Poirot, yeah.
Yeah.
I played Poirot for them, but they're not doing a Poirot and Agatha Christie this year. I think they're doing a Sherlock Holmes. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing at the current moment.
I would love to audition for more things, but I'm, with teaching and choreographing, I'm really kind of focused on the show. Although I seem to get cast in one-woman shows. I was Emily Dickinson in college. That, my God, Bella Van
Okay.
Hurst, then another show by Strindberg. And then I think I mentioned to you, I play Isadora Duncan for Knocker Dance Company. I'm the actress in that. So, but I relate to Isadora. She's fabulous. So, but yeah, no, nothing, just, focused on the show right now for me.
Sounds great. We'll keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye on you guys.
Yeah.
This has been fabulous.
Turn up
Thank you.
somewhere.
I think you learned something, right?
Oh yeah. I want to learn to tango.
Oh, yeah. Well, we are going to start. I'm thinking of, I think I need to start releasing some of the music. I've been kind of waiting, like, do I wait for the perfect timing? Do I wait for the lead producer to tell me when to do this? But we're thinking of maybe starting a Facebook page for Tango Illusion, maybe giving tango lessons on the Facebook, Facebook Live, something like that. I think we need to kind of get it out there a little bit more. So that's my plan.
Well, we helped. We
Thank
did
you.
our part.
You did. This was perfect timing. Thank you so
Good.
much.
Good. Diane Lathrop, Martinez, Johnny Martinez, thank you so very much. This has just been so much fun. We're going to save just a minute because Ellen, we got to plug.
Sand Lake Center for the
Sand Lake.
Arts. Yes, please go check them out.
And if anybody wants to be promoted on the show, just reach out to Ellen or I and we'll talk.
We'll talk.
Oh, and also I'll throw out my own little one though. I'm also directing The Pillow Man, which opens on Valentine's Day, the most Valentine's Day show you can go see.
Not-
Check it out at Albany Civic Theater. We run February 14th through March 3rd.
Woo, woo. All right, guys.
Thank
Dance
you,
on.
everyone.
Keep
Great,
it posted.
great meeting you, Ellen. Great to see you again, Benita. Thank you so much. Everybody have a
Take
great night and keep going to theater.
Absolutely. That's the send-off we love. Thanks, everyone. I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And I'm
Bye.
Benita Zahn. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you so much for listening to the Everything Theater podcast. Special thanks goes out to Alice Grinling for our photography and Justin Friello for composing our amazing theme song. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to share your thoughts or what's going on in your theater community, you can reach out to us on social media or through our email at everythingtheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, it's everything, everything, everything.